There was a 17th century poet, an English poet by the name of John Donne, and he once said that the death of any man diminishes me because I'm involved in mankind. We gather to commemorate 52 martyrs, but we know that there are so many, even thousands, that have gone before them. And unless the United States government and the United Nations keep their promises, sadly, there'll be more. So we gather today. It's a memorial service, and appropriately, with the reverence and the thoughtfulness that accompany these services. But we also gather to remind ourselves and to remind our government of the promises that it's made and have been unkept. You know, it's really rather remarkable what those of us, and Amir, you were so kind to refer to your American friends. You have a lot more American friends than those who are in this room, but we've had to endure, but nothing like the men and women at Ashraf and Liberty have had to endure. But what we've had to endure is relevant and worthy of just public, not only discussion, but condemnation. Promises have been made, they've been unkept, so they're worthless. We've listened to a lot of rhetoric from the UN and the United States, and it's meaningless to date. So at the end of the day, when we see what's happened, I must say, and I speak for myself, but I dare say rarely do I speak for any other American, but I do think that all of us that have been involved from the get-go are ashamed of our country. And to say that we are embarrassed by its actions is just not enough. We're hurt by their actions, not the hurt that the family and friends of those who died feel, but we're hurt. Because all of us who've been joined in this cause with the MEK have spent a significant part of our lifetimes serving our government. And unfortunately, after nearly $2 trillion and 4,500 lives, American lives, we find that their greatest ally in the region is a morally corrupt, bankrupt Maliki who has chosen to side with the devil, the supreme leader. We bear some of the responsibility in this country, though. We can't just put it on Iran, and we cannot put it on Iraq, and we just cannot put it on the UN. Although they've proven to be ineffective and feckless. And I would say disingenuous is kind, but I think they actually lied to Madame Rajavi. They lied to the residents of Ashraf and Liberty, and they continue to lie to this day, and they have been indifferent to the plight of these patriots. So we're going to call on the American government to do what's right again and again and again. If nothing else, we will be persistent, we will be vocal, we will be as loud as we possibly can be, we will gather and protest, we will gather in plea to simply say to America, you are the idea. The idea of America is when you make, one of the other ideas that is so similar to our existence is we make a commitment, we keep it. We made a commitment. By the way, we made it several times since every resident got a piece of paper. Secretary Clinton made it. Dan Freed made it. It's made in writing. Many of us heard it over the phone. We communicated it to Madame Rajavi. She communicated and persuaded the people at Ashraf and Liberty. I must tell you, your American friends feel as responsible for the death of these individuals as anybody else because we told them, trust America. Shame on every one of them. The deceit, the deception is unconscionable, it's immoral, and it's un-American. And while we condemn the past, and we'll continue to do that, that does not do us any good if we think about the future. And what we need in the future is we need a permanent UN blue-helmeted presence at Camp Liberty. Now, We need the protective T-walls. We need the vests. We need the helmets. And you notice they had vests and helmets there when the mercenaries come in, when the political assassins come in. The vests and the helmets and the T-walls won't do any good unless the United States and the United Nations put some bodies in there who represent the UN and the United States to make sure that another massacre, and it was a massacre. So we pay tribute to the fallen. May they rest in peace. They will not, and they have not died in vain, Amir. They have not died in vain. Their cause will prevail. It is righteous, and in time they will prevail. Some of you have heard me refer to Benazir Bhutto before, but I can't help but do it again, and I'll continue until we're together in Tehran. But she said a long time ago, actually it was in a speech, and not a speech that I saw, but I visited with her about a year before she was assassinated. But she said something that I think you believe, and the people of Liberty and Ashraf have believed. She said, you can exile a man, but not an idea. You can imprison a man, but not an idea. You can kill a man, but not an idea. To Maliki and the mullahs, heed carefully. Your brutal, immoral assault on innocent, defenseless people will not extinguish the dream that they shared. It will not extinguish the dream that their family and friends and the residents of Camp Liberty share. It will not extinguish the dream and the idea that all Iranians living under your suppressive rule share. The dream of a free and open and democratic Iran. And if you think about it, Mr. Maliki and your evil brethren, the supreme leader, you haven't doused the flame of the idea, you've added fuel to it. Because upon their deaths, the dream grows stronger, the commitment grows stronger, and don't think for one minute that their deaths will extinguish the flame, eliminate the hope, or change their idea, the commitment to the idea that yearns in their heart and in their head and the cause for which they died. I have many ancestors in my past. And my father wanted to be an Irishman, and he was part Irish, but there's an Irish limerick, an Irish saying that I like to share with you. Death leaves a heartache no one can heal. Love leaves a memory no one can steal. They won't steal the memory, Amir, of all of us, of your father and his friends. And they will never steal the idea and the righteous cause to which he gave his life, a free Iran.